What's up?
Welcome to Tabletop Topics. I'm your host, Jeff.
And of course, Jeff. Guys, if you want to catch and watch our ugly mugs on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Pandora, Deezer, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and now YouTube Music. We also have our YouTube channel, one word, Tabletop Topics, our Triple T's Clips channel, and our TikTok. So if you click on the links, it'll take you directly to the episodes. And of course, we have timestamps so you can navigate throughout. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and of course, leave us a comment. Again, guys, thank you again for joining us at the tabletop. Let's jump right into it.
Yeah.
Woo! What's up?
We have a new special guest.
First time
ever Zoom call online. That we've ever done before.
Testing the water.
First time.
Yep. All right.
I think that people on my Instagram Live probably can't hear you guys because I can hear you on my headphones, which is probably like a really funny perspective for them. It sounds like I'm just talking to a room.
Okay.
But
so they're like, okay, what's going on?
Guys,
Maybe
go look on my story, go look on my channel, find the YouTube Live link, and you can actually hear what they're saying.
You can drop in. Chat's open to the public.
Yep. So anybody can leave a comment.
Leave a comment.
Yep.
You got any questions?
For sure.
Yeah.
Would you like to introduce yourself to our audience and your audience?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what's up, guys? I'm Jade Juda. I am a musician. I'm an artist, and most importantly, I'm a person. I'm here.
Amen.
What's up?
Oh yeah,
Yes,
awesome.
sir.
Awesome.
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
He's existing with us.
I am.
Exactly.
I'm a real person. I think some people think
Yes,
maybe
sir.
I'm like a bot or like AI or something.
Well, I mean, your art is so out of this world that it's like,
it's
is
amazing.
that really a person doing it, or
It
is
could
that
be like
AI?
Yeah, like some higher intelligence type shit, like for real.
Well, thanks, man. I mean, a lot of it is AI, but it's not AI in the sense that people kind of talk about it now. Like it's not just you press a button and here's your magic
that's
art.
What I'm saying, because I look at it and it's like, okay, even if it's generated, you still have to have that skill of what is it called? Not syntax, but where you actually have to like curate what you want the AI, the instructions that you want to give.
It still needs
the AI.
instructions. It's not
Right.
like
Right. Before I answer that question, I'm trying to get this Instagram Live going. Did you get the collab invite I sent you? Because if you joined that,
Let's see.
they should be able to hear y'all.
Yeah.
If you want to join.
Let's see how that's going.
Yeah, let's do that. But I mean, but as far as like the AI art goes, like you always start with a prompt, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But it's how you use the prompt. You know, you don't just go ahead and say like, draw me a picture of a beautiful sunset, you know, with a a gorgeous
That's
lady
facts.
on the
No,
beach.
that's facts.
Like, I mean, you can do that and you'll get something good, but it's like it's not gonna be art. Like it's just gonna be it'll be like clip art, you know. Like
I feel that.
so a lot of like
So now, like, is there a specific engine that you're using? Like where's the software coming from? Like in terms of you know, how you get it to generate this art.
Oh man, you know, I was afraid you were gonna ask me that question because I don't know if I really want to answer it because
Oh no, yeah.
You don't have to. If you
Yeah,
don't.
trade secrets. You know what I'm saying?
for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. This is
You
the
don't want
Krusty
people.
Krab formula.
You don't want people copying your
mean,
formula,
sure,
and then after that,
for sure.
saying, "Oh, this is Jade that put this up there," and then you're like, "Ah, this is a fraudulent account." So I get what you're saying.
right.
Okay,
I mean, no,
let me-
I will say that like it's not some like super top secret project. Like it's anybody can do it,
Yeah.
Word.
But
there's
I
like a
will say
specific way
it's
that you
not
do it, yeah.
it's not Mid Journey. I will say that.
Oh yeah, for sure, for
Okay.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you do have Mid Journey. You have the. What else do you have? I'm just drawing blanks right now.
I'm Chinese, dude.
Yeah, I'm
You've
drawing-
got so many of them out
Chinese
there now,
too.
man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 'Cause this is not my area of expertise. I just know how to talk to people. yeah, that's the other thing.
So what would you say is like the hardest part in terms of like AI art generation?
Oh shit. Okay, we're live on Instagram now. We're live on
Yeah.
Instagram. Okay, cool. What's the hardest part of AI art generation? The hardest part is like being unique because it really is just so easy just to, especially now with how advanced everything has gotten, just to
Right.
basically just like describe what you want and just claim it as your own. But pretty much all of the stuff that I have on my page, I've made that's come from song lyrics that I've written, that's come from sometimes it's just stream of consciousness kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'll just type some shit out, stream of consciousness, arrange it in a certain way, put a little, little sugar and spice on top, whatever.
No, I feel it.
No, I feel
I
that.
feel it.
I feel that. So like, in terms of, like when you're making art, like prime example, is there a certain mode that you kind of go in? Like, is there a vision that you kind of put in your head and like, okay, this is what I want to project? Do you ever find yourself having that conflict where it's like you have an image in your head, but the art generator isn't producing what you see?
All the time, man. All the time. And honestly, in case anybody's been wondering why I've been posting less, because I used to post at least like 3-4 times a week on Instagram.
Oh wow.
And I think I've only posted maybe like as far as an art post once or twice in the past couple of months. It
Word.
gets to the point where if you are a real artist, and I've had to question myself on that a few times,
Hey man, I feel that.
and I think
feel
like
that.
every real artist does that. If you're not asking like, am I legit? Am I actually in this? You're probably just faking it.
You're probably faking.
Yeah.
No,
But-
that's facts.
Like you're forcing it out there instead of actually genuinely wanting to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, when would you say like your art journey began? Was it the technology that got you into it, or was this kind of like something you really kind of had a passion for, kind of saw it was something building inside of you before you just kind of needed a mode of, like, I guess a way to actualize it or realize it?
I think my art journey began. I mean, I've always been into art, but as far as creating art, I've dabbled around with collage stuff before. I've dabbled around with stuff like that, but I'm not a traditional artist.
Yeah.
I feel
Like
Yeah.
the majority of the art I have is AI art, but it's with my own twists. So it really began with my music career. I mean, because the way I saw it was, okay, so I have these ideas in my head. I have these images in my head. I have these songs that I write. I have these, these instrumentals, these lyrics, whatever it may be. I need to put pictures to this. I need to put images to this. I need to, become a multifaceted producer.
Oh yeah, for sure.
By doing that, like by expressing myself in that way, hopefully people would resonate with my art, and then also like as a result they would resonate with my music. So I mean,
Amen.
that's really how I got started. I mean, and of course the whole AI art thing, like really.
No, that's cool as shit.
Oh yeah,
That's
for sure,
cool as
for
hell.
sure.
What the fuck? Like you're at the forefront of like a technology that's going to be advancing beyond what we.
So
can
basically, you're like the OG
understand.
before.
Right? No, for real.
Yeah. So it's like,
you repping the AI, bro.
Yeah,
What the
exactly.
heck?
So you're gonna be like the OG, making millions every single week, while
Either
the
that-
newcomers are looking up to you to want to be where you're at.
Either that,
in the future.
either that, or everybody's gonna steal my shit, and I'm gonna be like,
No, bro.
Watermark, just watermark it.
Dude,
No,
but then-
that's a concerning question. Like, especially when you're most of this is coming out of your brain.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you copyright your work? You know, in terms of that, or are you looking at it in terms of more like, I just want to contribute to the public, like the artistic public. You see what I'm
right.
saying?
I mean, I do look at it that way. Like, I really don't care if people steal my shit. I really don't. I mean, because it'll pay I'll get paid back for it in some way one day.
Right.
Like, somebody, if they're stealing my shit, it's because they like it. You
Amen.
know?
There you go. That's true.
And
Yeah, that's true. That
Like-
makes sense.
I like
If it's
that
good,
philosophy.
they take it.
right.
Yeah,
And so
yeah,
it's like,
I feel it.
take my shit, you know? Like, obviously, I don't want you to, like, pretend to be me or anything like that.
Right,
Like,
right.
Yeah.
you know, don't, like, make my voice AI. Don't, like, release a track as me, whatever. But, like, yeah, if you like my art, like, put that shit in your thing, whatever you
Yeah,
use,
catalog.
like,
Yeah.
analyze it, like, and create your own art from it, whatever. Use it as inspiration, because I do see this as, like you said, this is like the forefront of innovation in art and music and tech and so many things, and like, I want to be a part of contributing to that, you know, making sure like I leave my mark on that. And
I feel
it's
that.
cool that you guys say that, because that's definitely a goal of mine.
Hey, man. Oh, I love that.
That's
what's
awesome.
up.
And
That's what's up.
the crazy thing too is you have the original file, so even if somebody
That's
steals
exactly
it,
what you just read my.
you
read my mind, bro.
Even if
You read my
somebody
Right.
steals it,
Like, you have the original
date.
file,
You have the
right.
original
I
file.
do,
the
man.
original date.
I do.
So-
A lot of them I have as NFTs, actually, also.
There you go. You
Yeah.
see? So
Yes,
it doesn't matter if somebody has it. You can show them the original date that you've created the art in order to put it up. So
Right.
therefore, all the royalties that you make from that artwork will go to you instead of the person that's stolen.
Yeah,
it.
let's go into that. What's your vision for NFTs?
Hmm.
Like, yeah, you see what I'm saying? Because like I've been in that realm. I'm still in that realm. I don't produce as much as I used to, because I kind of started off on Object, you know, OpenSea, on Lightmint, you know, and a lot of these startups that kind of started their whole NFT art curating and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
I saw so many ideas in different corners of that space, but like there was I found it hard to find something that kind of grounded or connected all of those ideas together. And they're all great ideas independently, but I just I couldn't see as
The bigger picture.
Right, I could not see the bigger picture.
Right. I mean, it's hard with NFTs, man. It's hard because nobody really knows what the fuck to do with them. You know, like,
Right.
I mean, I think even the people that have NFTs don't really know what they're doing, like what the end game
Right.
is. You know,
Because
like,
we scream utility, 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 but it's like, what's the best way to, you know, utilize this digital asset? Like,
right. I mean,
besides,
I think like ultimately we will move towards a world where an NFT is going to be more valuable than a painting. You know, it's going to be more valuable than anything tangible. I think we're really going to move to a world where like you're going to see the two kind of like combine. You know, you're going to have
I feel
physical products that are attached to an NFT. You know, like
Yeah, for sure.
and I'm sure that's already a thing. I just don't know about it probably, like certificates of authenticity and shit like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that's one example of a vision. Like, you know, bringing smart contracts into the
Right.
Oh yeah, for
you know,
sure.
and stuff like that. And I guess you could consider that a form of NFT. I guess I was just kind of looking at it from the art perspective, because that's really what blew up on, like, you know, the mainstream aspect of it. But like in terms of the technology behind it, I think it's pretty genius.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
Well, yeah, because we're heading towards that crypto route anyway, so they're just trying to incorporate everything that they can with NFTs. So.
Right, but I just don't know where, like, ultimately, like, have you heard of the whole Web3 thing?
Yes, we have it.
It's
So-
like Web3 wallets.
We have
and,
Web3 wallets ourselves.
you know,
Yeah, yeah, I have that as well. Like, I have my own whatever Jade Juda dot Ethereum or whatever it is, EHT or
Oh,
whatever
like
it
your
is.
own ledger
Like
type?
your ledger, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. But like I don't know what the fuck am I supposed to do with it, you know? Like I don't know. Like it just
Right. Like,
it's such an abstract thing
Yeah.
and like
It's new. It's
right, and
new.
they haven't found a good way of explaining it to stupid people
Mm-hmm.
like me, you know?
I wouldn't
see,
say that.
one idea that I would think about is like, okay, so you have a Jade Juda, token or ledger, right?
Mhm.
So
Right.
this is an extension of your intellectual property,
Mhm.
and you can distribute a portion of that to the public, I guess, and in return they invest in you through those, I guess, smart contracts, any type of assets you give out to them.
So it's like a give and take.
Right. And
It
then,
sounds so cool, man, but it's like every time I've ever tried to talk to somebody about like an NFT project, it just they think I'm trying to
oh,
scam them or something. Like,
yeah, they should.
Yeah.
you know, and
Yeah,
I and I get the same vibes when people come to me about it because I'm
No,
like,
I
"Yeah."
feel you.
It's
I
like
feel you. Cause
you're the
like,
creative marketing director at OpenSea, really? You know, like there's like a
that
thousand of
sounds
those apparently.
but that's the thing, like, especially with this new tech, you could just string up a whole bunch of gobbledygook and
Yeah,
and just
pull it up,
yeah, and sell. Come on, bro. Like over the past, since the hype of the, bored apes and all that, and of course, the fall of a lot of these big cryptocurrencies and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
They're weaving out the fake ones.
Right.
Right.
It's just the idea that, we're gonna take advantage of the masses who don't understand this technology
exactly.
and tell them it's gonna make them millions. You see what I'm saying?
Right,
So it's just
exactly.
like,
And people fall into that. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
and they fall for that, man. So it's like I understand the sentiment, because it's like, okay, I'm moving in a space where I see the gold in it. I see, and not even in terms of monetary, like the benefits of what it can do for, the world, humanity, and stuff like that. You
Right.
see what I'm saying? But the face of it is in such a negative light. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to really get that message across without someone shutting you down. It's a pyramid scheme. It's a Ponzi scheme.
It
Well,
is.
it's like when Bitcoin came out, when the early 2000s, and everyone's like, "Oh, get Bitcoin, 6 cents, 6 cents." Oh, I'm not gonna put my money, imaginary
Internet
money.
Right.
money.
And now
Internet
everyone's looking
money,
at it
right.
like, oh,
You
it-
believe in imaginary
Right.
money,
And
as
it's
well.
great.
It's
It's
gone
great for the
forever.
ones that started out. It's great for the ones that
Yeah.
started out on the ground floor. Those people
Right.
fucking, millionaires, billionaires, but like everybody else, they're just playing, they're just running this rat race. Like they're never going to win, they're just spinning on a fucking
Exactly.
hamster wheel. And like, I mean,
Tough.
a lot of times, like these smaller coins, like companies are using them to like fund their companies as their IPOs.
Right.
So like
Right. They'll
get their
set like
companies,
this.
their startups going, and then like they'll either, most of the time they bust, and like everybody's just like
Right.
left stuck,
Oh yeah, for
Right.
sure.
fucking broke.
Holding the bag, left with the
Right.
bag, man. That's
So
just
I don't know,
tough.
man. I don't see how. Like I don't really see a future where unless there. I know there's a U.S. dollar coin now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Unless
Yeah,
that becomes
USDC.
mainstream, like stuff like that, I don't see a future where like Bitcoin is like on your phone. It's like, hey, like you go to McDonald's and you
I
get,
feel that.
pay with
Mhm.
Bitcoin, whatever.
I
You
feel
know.
I would look at Bitcoin as more of what would you call it? Like a standard.
The grant,
Like a gold, but just for digital assets.
digital assets. Okay.
You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Like everything is pegged
On it.
according to Bitcoin. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And then of course, companies like XRP or something like that. That would
XLM, all that
XLM.
other stuff. Yeah.
Right.
they
Stellar.
would-
Stellar lumens.
Stellar.
Yep,
You know what I'm
yep,
saying? They
yeah.
would handle a lot of that transactional, mumbo jumbo, cross border payments and
Well, yeah, that's why they've been
Right.
incorporating. Like they bought MoneyGram, they bought Western Union.
Union,
They're
stuff
they're
like
like
that. Really?
silently buying. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They're silently buying
Damn.
all these
yeah.
teaming up with banks, buying all these systems because they know that eventually that's what they're going to use.
All these payment systems,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And it'll all
Oh,
just
wow.
sit on one.
Well, I mean, I think that's like
One
one thing it's really great for, man, is like payment processing and shit like that, because you could just do
Right,
shit in a flash. But like besides that,
Oh,
Yeah.
no, I
Zero-
don't.
Oh, instant money.
I think it's
Yeah.
0.02
Okay.
seconds instead of waiting a day.
Like, check this
or-
out, right? Let's say I'm on Coinbase, right? And I want to sell like $100 of Stellar, right?
Okay.
Coinbase is going to charge me a fee. and then after that, I have to cash out. So the only way I pay no fee is if I go through PayPal. But everything else, that's another fee.
Yep.
And then there's another fee, like, so if I don't use Coinbase or PayPal, there's another fee that's attached to it. And then by the end of it, like, I'm losing almost, it's not a lot, but almost 1% of what I sold. You see what I'm saying? Of
Right.
my original,
Yeah.
my original, work.
Right. And they know what they're doing, man. And it's like everybody's gonna get their cut. Everybody's gonna get
Oh,
their
yeah,
cut.
off the top.
And like
Yeah.
unless right, unless you've got like a rich uncle or something, which shit, I don't, like it's like it's hard.
No, that's fact.
It's hard, man.
Oh, yeah,
Good luck.
So do you feel like, let's get into some like spooky kind of sort of conspiracy.
Okay. Yeah. Let's do it. I'm all about
Do you think
that
this
shit.
would
Let's
be?
do it.
Do you think, like, of course we already know surveillance is surveillance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're
Whatever.
listening to us on our
Surveillance
phones
is
as
gonna
we
be
speak right
surveillance,
now. So
right? But like,
course.
do you feel like this is more of a way to? Of course, they're gonna be able to track everyone, but like, what's the worst case scenario in terms of having government regulation and surveillance all tailored into one technology?
Having government
So, like,
regulation and surveillance tailored into one
And
technology.
surveillance. So, like, surveillance as in the blockchain is immutable. I can track all your payments, all your records, wherever you went, wherever you sold,
whatever you
spent.
buy, I can cancel it, block it.
You know what I'm saying? Unless you have like a freaking off-chain ledger or something like that.
Right.
That just lets you instantly
Oh,
access.
the ledger wallets.
Right. Stuff like that. Like, most of the everyday consumer is going to have a wallet which is hosted by a larger company,
Yeah.
which
Right.
complies with government regulations.
Right. And you
So-
have to. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, you
So
have to
gotta
like
sub-
survive in the world. Yeah. You can't escape it.
Right. Right. You know what I'm saying? You got to submit government IDs,
Yep.
Social Security, all this.
When you ask,
that.
what do I think about it? Like, what do you be a little bit more specific about
Like,
that?
is there a fear? Like, not a fear. Let me not. That's too extreme. Like, is there
You
a concern
what?
in terms of how you can limit the movement of people, depending on certain actions they take within the world? So, like,
Absolutely.
Let's say, right. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we definitely live in like 1984 times 4, right now.
Damn.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's like 1984 fucking steroids, man. I mean, like you said, they're watching everything you do. I mean, they're not literally sitting there watching this, right?
Right.
You know,
Are they a
like,
threat to the United States?
right, like the whole, my FBI agent meme,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right. I love
It's
how
like-
that's way too better.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Yeah.
you just know. So it's like, hey, guy.
Yeah. If they are watching us, hello, like, and I'm
hey,
honored that you're
you've
watching.
seen me do everything.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
But at the point, like they could go back and find it. That's like there probably is a record of everything. Every transaction you've
Digital
ever made,
footprints.
every call, every message, every fucking live
Right.
stream.
Right.
And it's unfortunate, but it's like it's the world we live in now, man.
And it's
With
just
all
streamlined,
What can you
right?
do? It's
It's
like
some
you can
crazy
go against, yeah,
shit. Like
That's true.
you almost have to fucking have it in a way, man. It's terrible. Like I hate it, but
Mhm.
how else are
I
we?
hate it every day,
It's
man.
almost capitalism.
Right,
Oh, yes,
right.
Yeah, it's like you don't want to contribute.
And
but
I'm not
you have to contribute
advocating for it.
sometimes.
When I say you have to have it, I'm speaking more from like I don't know, more of like a
It's-
philosophical perspective of just
right.
Yeah.
It's like,
this is the society
it's
that we
beyond
put
me.
ourselves in.
It's
Yeah.
beyond me.
Right. So
Not much I can
now,
do. Word.
how do we accepting that and knowing that, how do we move forward and like
Move forward.
navigate in this world? Because it's a crazy fucking world now, man. It really is.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I
So-
don't know if you ever heard of the whole idea of the World Economic Forum, Great Reset, all that stuff.
I have heard
All
about
nothing.
that. I haven't heard.
Yeah,
I haven't heard
yeah.
much about detail. I mean, I've heard a little about it. Like when I hear about
Yeah.
conspiracies, I tend not to look too much into them. I don't know
I
why.
feel you.
'Cause
But-
you'll go down the rabbit hole.
I will,
It's
I
a
will,
rabbit
man.
hole.
I can
It's a
get into
rabbit
them
hole.
just like anybody else, and there's some I believe in. But tell me more about that one.
So it's essentially like by 2030, it's the idea that they want to replace what's it, Swift?
Swift with XRP.
Right. They want to make
That's payment processing, right?
Yeah,
basically,
payment
yes.
processing.
Yeah.
They want to streamline global markets. Also increase utilization of blockchain technology and not just monetary aspects, but in terms of, trade, inventory tracking.
Right.
Like, imagine if everything was processed on a blockchain. Everything.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Like, it would just change the way the world ran. It would change, like, delay time. There would almost be no latency. It would change the latency that exists within the world.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But
I mean,
with
that's
that,
a lot of benefits, but yeah, no, go ahead.
right,
Yeah.
right. You know what I'm saying? But with that, it also changes, like, a way of life. You see what I'm saying? Like, everything is now tracked. Everything now has a record. Everything is now just, like, under one supervision. You know what I'm saying? But it's just the idea that you will own nothing and you'll be happy, because we're moving away from, what is it? It's like two forms of capitalism, where it's like you invest in, was it products, to you invest in ideas.
Yes.
I forgot the actual word for it, because there's a nice juicy word for that.
Mhm.
It's essentially, you don't invest in products and the prediction of, where markets are going to go. You invest in ideas, and that's just it's human-centric capitalism.
Right.
Where it's like the value is dictated by the masses. You see what I'm saying? So owning a certain asset will only be valuable if the public deems it valuable, and not like billionaire corporations, who fake pump their assets,
and then drop it when they pull it out.
Right.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Right. No, I mean, you see the same thing, on Instagram, on social media in general right now. Like, if the algorithm doesn't like what you do, or if the algorithm doesn't think that your followers, that your audience is going to like what you do, then they just won't see you. And it's not like a timeline thing anymore. It's like literally the shit just won't show up in their fucking feeds.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They won't get the notification, whatever. Like,
and they even have that issue with YouTube too. Well, but go ahead.
Right. I mean, and I think in some ways that's good, but in some ways it's bad. It's good because it allows you to reach the people that you want to reach. For sure. And it prevents the people that don't give a shit about you from like wasting their time.
From entering that.
Right.
I feel that.
Right.
I feel that.
So like, if you make good content and it's good quality and it's entertaining, people will come to it, and you'll be able to succeed in that world. But on the other hand, like, if you're just some guy, like, whatever, just doing it as a hobby, whatever, you have a podcast about fucking whatever it may be, nobody's gonna see your shit unless you invest a lot of time, community building, a lot of money in marketing and advertising, and that's the way it's moving, and it's not going to change.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's real sweaty.
Well, like you said, the only way you can get yourself out there is through money, because you can hope and wish upon a star about putting out as much content as you want, or videos as much as you want, but at the end of the day, if you don't advertise yourself correctly, then no one's gonna see where you're at or what you're doing, unless you actually put the time, like you were saying, and the effort and the money into doing all that.
It is about that, man. You're right, but it's not all about that. I think, like, when you get to a certain point, it becomes a lot about that. But when you're first starting out, like we are, it's all about community building, man. It's all about
for sure,
building, making relationships. It's all about
connecting with your people,
right? And not in a fake way, but like in a genuine way. Like, when I'm going through my Instagram feed, if I don't like something that you posted, I don't care if you're my best friend. Like, I'm not gonna like it. I'm not gonna.
Just don't like it. Right.
Exactly.
Amen.
I'm not gonna bullshit you, because first of all, I want to see stuff that I like, and second of all, I want to encourage you to, like, make more of the shit that I think is good.
It's good.
Yeah, for sure.
That's fact.
Yeah, that's why I always appreciate the support that we not just get from you, but the community that we've built on Instagram, TikTok, and all that stuff like that. Of course, we receive positive messages from other people saying your content helped me out, or it made my day. It made me focus on escaping the world for about 5 minutes or whatever, just so they can feel good
You
about
get
themselves.
do you get a lot of that? You get a lot of feedback
Yeah.
from your audience?
Oh yeah.
Yes,
Mostly
yeah.
on like TikToks, on shorts, YouTube shorts, and stuff like that. That's
Yeah.
usually
Yeah.
where we'll get most of the. Because like our editor Vic, who's actually in the chat right now.
Yes, he's in the
Shouts
chat right
out
now.
Vic.
Shout
How
out
you
to
doing,
Vic.
brother?
Oh,
He
you
came
got an
out- he
editor
came
now?
out-
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he came out with a video called "Forgive Him for You," and then we ended up putting that on our TikTok. And I had an entire conversation in the comment section with the person that said, "Thank you for this. It really helped me a lot. I couldn't see myself forgiving this person, but because I watched the video, I'm gonna try even harder to actually move forward with that." And that's
It's
what we
amazing when that happens.
Yeah,
Right.
that's genuinely what we try to do, which is why we said, one of the reasons why we got our passports was not just to travel around the United States and just have conversations and have people understand who we are and where we're coming from, or who they are and where they're coming from. But if we were to go overseas, we'd also want to do the same thing, because
Right.
we want to hear the voices of the people and where they come from and
Human-
where they're
human
Yeah,
experience.
the human experience.
What is your
Because
reality?
we are human, we're amorphous, and
What
and
is
the
your
biggest thing
reality?
is nobody's listening to the stories, because you look at all these podcasts that are oversaturated with movie stars, TV stars. That's their world, that's their bubble. Nobody understands what that life is. This is
Right.
the real human experience. So we try to connect with our audience with our daily stories that we go through on our lives, or when we invite somebody over, we ask them, who are they, where do they come from, where do they see themselves, what makes them human, as we would say. So that's just how we genuinely came out about it, and we love it. This doesn't feel like a job. That's
No,
why
no.
I'm glad
Done.
you reached out to us, or we reached out to you, and then we can have this conversation, so everybody that watches this can understand who you are as a human being, and where you come from, and where your walks of life, your morals, your values, and all that stuff come from. So
Man,
I
I appreciate it, man, and I'm still trying to figure that shit out myself. So you know,
Bruh.
Yeah, we're there.
Yeah,
We're
I'm
there.
telling
we
you,
may
bruh,
we
I'm
may have
telling
to
you.
we may have to think about that for a minute tonight. I don't know. Shit.
Yeah, for sure. And then
Sure.
we what I've always noticed too is when we're having conversations with people, but this is my experience. I don't know about my brother, but when we're having conversations with people, I discover something new about myself through somebody else by hearing their stories and understanding. Oh, okay, I see where you're coming from. I see that perspective. I understand. I've been through that, and we can relate to certain things like that. So that's why we love doing this. We don't, yes, entertainment purposes, but first and foremost, it's literally
real life.
It's real life.
It's
It
real
is,
life.
man. It's real life.
To understand the human experience,
life.
and then I learn something more every year that I get older. It's just amazing. So I want to continue doing that until the day I die. This is not going to
Well,
stop.
good, man, and you should. You got the fucking voice for it. You both got the voices for it. First of
Oh,
all,
thank you. I appreciate that.
got the personalities for it, and shit, man. I just,
Yeah, we're
You
crazy
got the
sometimes.
trifecta radio voice,
Right?
yo. Oh my goodness.
I'm glad to hear that I have a radio voice. Thank you for that.
No, dude.
No, that's cool. Yeah,
Like-
I'm like, oh my
Bro, I
god.
was shocked as
I'm
hell.
like,
I
he
was
has a
like,
radio voice.
Wait.
Sensational.
Oh man.
That's it.
I feel that.
Well, I
that.
better have a radio voice because I am a musician. So if I don't have a
Yes,
radio
sir.
voice,
Let's talk
because
about that.
I don't know if you've noticed good singing voices, and I like to think that I have a good singing voice. So
I mean, you're a good
You tell me
tenor
Speaking
bass.
of tells me that tenor bass.
Yeah, my brother.
No,
brother's
no,
good
I
tenor
can't
bass.
sing. Don't let him fool you. He's just gassing me. Nah.
Nah, man, you're on the spot. You're on the spot now, man. You got to sing.
I
Now. You gotta
can't.
do
I
it now.
can't belt any notes. Absolutely not.
Screech.
The live stream will crash, bro. It'll be
Nails
Damn.
on the chalkboard.
All right.
YouTube will shut it down for
I'll get a community guideline.
community guidelines
strike,
strike. Exactly. Like, it's so bad. We had to give you a strike to take you off
This
of
is
live.
offensive.
Damn.
Yep.
What?
Shit, man.
It's offensive.
I was hoping for a tabletop karaoke, man. Shit.
Yeah. Right. 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 That's awesome.
That's
You
awesome.
what?
Jeff
Nah, I
went
wouldn't say
with the
that.
traveling choir his whole life, bro.
It's been a minute though.
He was
It's
always
been a
in his
minute.
little dress up
I need
shirt.
some
Traveling
little
choir.
pastor's outfit. Yeah, he was with a traveling choir for a while.
Yeah. It
Tell,
was,
tell me
it was
about
something-
that, bro.
Well, well, fifth grade was Panther Show Choir, so we would go to Orlando and do singing competitions with schools around Florida. But then there was something called America Sings, where we would actually travel to Nashville, Tennessee, Atlanta, Georgia, New York City. We've done Virginia, just to do singing competitions with a whole bunch of choirs around the world. So everybody would come. Around the world, we would station ourselves in one area, and then of course we'd enjoy the week, but then we'd all come together for America Sings and just have fun. We'd literally learn the songs, and then we'd all do like one massive it was maybe like 50,000 people on a giant field just singing.
Wait, you guys were collabing with other?
We would sing our own songs so other people can see it, and then after that we would just collab with the entire.
Okay.
Yeah,
do like a whole.
I'm not surprised,
Yeah,
man, because you do have a very rich voice, a very silky smooth voice.
Oh, thank you, I appreciate. And I think what shocks people sometimes is when I go like an octave high, and then they're like, "How do you go so low?" But then you go like super high too. But
that's your head voice, bro.
That is my head voice.
It's all about the head voice, man.
Yeah,
you what?
Yeah. But I would say it's been a minute since I've actually sung. So if I were to do it here, it'd probably break the cameras, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
No, one day
let's not break any cameras tonight.
Right.
In the future, we're gonna be having like a nice month-long music spotlight,
and we will definitely invite you back.
Because man, I'd love to be here for that.
Yeah. We're doing focusing an entire month on just artists, whether it be painting, musicians, singers, rappers, writers, beat creators. Like we want to do a month long. Producers. We just want to do a month long of that. Focus on that. Just
a highlight, just kind of like a highlight series, just where you just people that inspire you.
So people can see what that world is like, and it's amazing and fun, but it's also not easy to create art, because art is not something that a lot of people are born with. It's something
I think everyone is born. Born. It's just it depends on how you tap into that and how you express it. Like what mode are you expressing this?
Gotcha. Okay.
This creativity.
I see what you're saying.
I mean, I think I gotta disagree with you on that, bro. I think some people are just don't have it, and I think you're born.
Thank you, Jay.
You're born.
I'm not an artist.
Jeff 1, Jeff Zip. Oh man.
You're born looking at you're born, not like a certain way, but as you grow up in life, like you're shaped, by your environment and by all of your experiences and things like that. And when you get to a certain age, like you just can't change most of that. Like when you're a full ass grown adult, like you are who you are, and if you just like,
I feel you.
if you're like 45 and like just now want to start,
unless it's like a life-changing experience, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, but in terms of like, I completely understand what you're saying.
I would say everybody is born with a gift, but not everybody is artistic in the way that we are speaking about it.
Right, because artistic. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
When I think of like being creative or seeing things artistically, it's like, I can hear when I hear a piece of music, I'm listening to it in a different way than somebody who's not a musician is. When when a painter is looking at a painting, he or she or they are looking at that painting in a way that somebody who has no knowledge of painting or painting technique or art in general is ever going to be able to see that painting. And they draw, because they have that knowledge, because they have that background and that experience, they're able to draw different ideas and see those ideas in different ways than somebody who's just never had those experiences. Like they literally, their brains aren't wired to do it,
Yeah.
So now, like, is there... So my question is, because the way you explain that, now is there a point in time? So let's say I start at... So when does one become an artist, right? So I've never done any art before. I decided to pick up a paintbrush or a pen, and I put it to paper or canvas or a notepad, and I create something. It doesn't fit within the structure of, what art would be considered, but it's my best interpretation of the image I'm trying to get across, the idea that I'm trying to get across. At what point do I become an artist? Am I an artist before I've done that, when I pick up the pen, or after years of improving my skill? When could I consider myself an artist?
You can consider yourself an artist, I think, when you completely give yourself to whatever craft it is, and whatever that means to you. I mean, even if you're working a 9-to-5 job, it's like you can still be a real artist. It's just like, okay, you work your 9-to-5 job, but as soon as you get off, you start working on your art, and you put all of your free time into that. It's not just a hobby. There's a difference between being, an artist and a hobbyist. you know.
And a hobby.
No, I agree.
Just picking up the
Okay.
pen is not
I
enough,
love that.
you know.
I love
Just
that.
picking up the pen
Okay.
is not enough. Like you have to be consistent with the pen. You got to know what to do with it.
Right.
And
Right.
And the one thing I can say, because I hear this from every artist, whether it be like you said, digital, physical, or anything, it's just the first thing I always hear you guys always say is, I get the image in my head and I just have to get it out and put it on paper or put it on a computer or put it on that. And it's like, to me, that's amazing because that's not something I get at all. So my brother, he creates his digital art the way he does. And it's like, he says, I just get the image in my head and I have to get it out. And then it just comes out in that form. And that's why I think artistry is very amazing, because you guys just, like I said, born with it. The image is there and it's not something that you create. It's just there, and then you're like, all right, I can do this. Let me put it on a piece of paper or a computer or something like that, which is amazing to me that you guys have that ability to put what you imagine on an actual canvas, regardless of what that canvas is. So to me, that's amazing.
it's cool that you think that way about it, man, because and I agree with your brother, like, about that. It's just like, for me, it's more with music that I just I get a melody in my head, or I get a beat in my head, or I get a line, I get a verse in my head, whatever it may be, that it just won't go away. You know, like
That's amazing.
Get it out. I feel that.
it's the kind where I'll just be in bed at night and it's like, I got to get the fuck out of bed and like record this melody before I forget it. You know, it's
For
just
me,
like you can't say no to it. You know.
No, that's facts. That's facts. I completely understand, because like for me, music plays a big role in like how I interpret my art. You see what I'm saying? Like if I listen to a song and literally like I'm listening to the background melody or a portion of the production or a sample or an instrumental that's tacked onto it. I'm not even looking at the song as a full body, but like one part of that song captures my brain, and like I can imagine a scene or an abstract image that fits that sound that exists in the song. You see what I'm saying? Which is why you usually see, like, when I post something, I usually pair it with the music that inspired the thought, the art. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That
Interesting hearing it from I mean, because I don't consider myself primarily a visual artist, which is funny because like 99% of the stuff I have on Instagram is art. You know?
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing.
That's amazing.
It's visually amazing. Like,
That's
it makes
amazing,
you just want to stare at it.
bro.
But it's interesting hearing that from me, because for me, it's like how I was telling you, sometimes I'll take my song lyrics and I'll, you know, work them in a way to where I create art from them, AI art from them. To me, it's like, okay, I have this music and these lyrics. Now, how do I make a picture out of that?
A picture out of it. Yeah.
Kind of like, instead of
You know what I'm saying?
and it's like, without AI art, man, like, I wouldn't be able to do it. I would not be able to
feel
do
you.
it because I'm not
I feel you.
a visual artist by trade. I'm just not. And I'd be a liar if I said I was. I'm a musician who is like fucking blessed with the fact that we have this technology that we have now, and that I'm able to like express myself visually, because it's something I've always wanted to do, but I've never had the ability to do, you know?
Gotcha.
Right, and I think that's amazing, because like even growing up, I played a lot of classical instruments, and things like that. But I just felt like technology was more of the realm of it gave you abstract sounds that you could never hear from traditional music, and like that's where my mind wanders. And abstract, you know, colors, sounds, ideas, concepts,
Sure.
and music that is created today, you know, like it kind of fits that realm of that mode of thinking that I'm usually working in. You know what I'm saying? So
When you say the music of today, like, what kind of music are you talking about specifically?
Honestly, I as crazy as it sounds, I listen to all types of music. Like I will listen to polka. I will listen to
God, if you hear our playlist, it's...
yeah, the playlist is crazy. Like,
because you know the stereotypes are this race listens to this music, that race listens to that music.
Definitely, dude. Of course. Like,
But then,
everybody,
but then we'll,
I'm not going to say this because I don't want to get like a content
Now you-
thing that
you
like
what?
everybody knows the example that I'm referring to. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like, and it's all
man.
bullshit. It's all bullshit.
Yeah, it is.
Word,
It is.
absolutely,
It is.
absolutely.
We're not limited to
Yeah.
because like I said, if my brain starts moving and my body starts moving with it, it's like if the flow is it feels good, I'm like
Right.
I'm gonna save it.
If it makes sense
Right.
to my ears and my brain
Then I
likes
listen
it,
to it, yeah.
I'm gonna listen to it.
That's
I'm
like
gonna jam out to
Yeah,
it.
that's
Same.
like every time somebody asks us like what type of music we listen to, and I said, if you heard my playlist, you're gonna think I am crazy because I automatically know the stereotypical type of person will say, well, you're black, you're supposed to be listening to this,
You don't listen
and
to
you're
that.
white,
Right.
you're supposed to be listening to this, and you're Spanish, you're supposed to be. So it's like,
Dude, you have no idea how many people think that I'm a country
God.
musician.
Oh, that's tough.
Exactly.
That's
Like,
tough,
really?
That's
man.
what-
Like,
Yeah,
I'm from
that's
I'm
what's
from
bad.
Memphis, Tennessee, and I play music. All right, I automatically play country.
Exactly, and that's what they automatically
Play.
assume.
I
It's
don't
like
buy
there's no
it,
other genre.
though, you know.
Yeah.
But and I don't have a problem with it. But I do. I listen to everything too, man. I listen to everything.
Yeah,
And
it's amazing. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I love any form of human expression.
Mhm.
That's like I said, I'm a very humanistic person. Like if it is if it's a benefit or positive to the world and it's coming from here and here, you know what I'm saying, and it's genuine, you know, I can rock with it. I may not like it, but I will always give it a chance and try to understand. Okay, what realm are you coming from?
Mhm.
Where you're producing this product,
Mhm.
you know
right.
what I'm saying, and you know, and like who are you targeting, and why does this mean so much to you, and
Yeah.
and how can you break this down for me, you know, and stuff like that. And that goes with different types of art, you know, different types of art form, different types of music. If it just makes sense, like if it makes sense to my ears and my brain, I'm hooked on it. You know.
And that's the great thing about as bad as streaming has been for music in so many ways. That's the great thing about streaming is that
I feel that.
there's people like us now, our generation and younger. You know, that's just like you go through, look at their playlist, and it's like you've got some fucking Mozart, and you've got some Kendrick Lamar, and you've got some
Right.
I
Drake,
got Beethoven.
and you
Yeah.
like
Oh, that's
of
right.
Montreal,
Yeah.
and you've got some Beatles, and like
Yeah.
it's like
I
what's
got-
going on here? You know, like
I got Journey on my phone.
And that's the thing too, because like even growing up, like we came late into hip hop. We didn't grow up listening to hip hop because
No.
they didn't have hip hop radio
99
down
Cat
here.
Country.
Yeah, they didn't
I
have
think
hip-hop
was what we
radio
grew up
down
with,
here.
Yeah.
We only had a lot of country radio stations and like, what was it, rock?
Mm-hmm.
and
like-
gospel
Yeah,
stations. I'm
99.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
gospel,
gospel
hella
and rock
gospel
stations,
stations,
yeah.
A lot of that in
gospel and
Memphis,
rock
yeah.
stations.
There
know
there
what
was
I'm
no B103.9 or 105.5, which
none
plays
of that,
the-
which is
the
24/7 hip hop. They
Hip-hop.
didn't have iHeartRadio at the time, so
Mhm.
we
Right.
couldn't hear anything
Yeah.
like new. So we grew up on a lot of these 70s, 80s rock music, you know, and
So growing up, we were
pop
already
music.
open-minded.
So we already understood, okay, there's a bigger spectrum of music, and then we kind of had to dive into, you know, genres like hip hop and stuff like that, and just kind of, okay, this is what it is. You see what I'm saying?
Right, and just
So
kind of
it-
discover it for yourself.
Right.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like,
And that's
discover
what's so great about music, like access to music today, like platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, whatever you use. It's like
Mm-hmm.
Right.
you just create a radio station based on a song that you like, and like you can discover like 10, 15 new bands, new artists in a day that you've never heard
Oh
of.
yeah,
They're
for
just
sure.
amazing, you know?
That's facts. Like, look how many songs are like resurging on TikTok, or like
They're doing new dances.
they're
for
new
that.
doing
Right.
new dance moves for them. And you're like,
You
Yeah,
what?
I just saw on TikTok the other day.
Stop
It
it.
was some song by what was it? It wasn't the Strokes. It was some. Was it like Franz Ferdinand or something? I don't know.
Mhm.
It was like 19 something. You know what I'm talking about?
word.
The song. It was like a year 19 something.
19.
It was like a trending song on TikTok, and it was like a
It's like
alternative rock song,
1999 or
early
something.
2000s kind of.
Is it like no, like it's 1999 or
You're talking
19?
about 1969?
1969?
No, I think maybe you're thinking of a Prince song. It's not Prince.
Oh,
No.
no. It's not
Okay.
Prince.
No, but
It was-
my point
I'm
is, it's like
thinking-
a
I'm
lot of
thinking-
stuff is resurging. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm thinking of summer of '69.
Summer of 69.
That's me.
Oh yeah,
But
it's not that song.
it was the summer of '69.
Okay. All right.
That's what is that? Brian Adams. Brian.
Oh, yeah,
Brian.
I love that
Something
song. That's
by
one of my-
Adams.
Yeah, it's on my one of my favorite playlists too. So, but yeah, so that's what I would say about the whole the genre of music. It's like there's so many wide varieties and ranges, and it's like when, especially because overseas, like we don't really get the overseas music here, but then when it bleeds into our algorithm on for me it's YouTube Music, for my brother it's Spotify. It's like, okay, this is a whole new genre.
Right.
It sounds good. Now I'm going through that rabbit
Yeah,
hole
let
to
me
listen to it.
like if I hear a sound or music that clicks with me, I just hit start radio for this genre
And then
of
we
music.
just
And just see where it goes. See where it takes
and
you.
just see where it goes.
Oh, yeah, that
man.
rabbit
And
hole.
sometimes it's just like straight to hell, you know, honestly. Like sometimes
You
it's terrible. There's a
right.
lot of bad music
You
out there.
just
There's a lot of bad music.
Spamming the skip button like, jeez.
Hey yo,
But there's also a lot of good music, like, and especially all of the like Hispanic influences that are coming into pop music.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Just like
Bad music is
it's just like breathing this like vibrant life into pop music that just like has not been there for so long, you know.
That's facts. I honestly thought K-pop had that potential, especially like during like the
Because
middle
of-
area of BTS.
Because of BTS, yeah.
Right, because it was such a global phenomenon, like what these 7 guys were doing, you know, like in terms of like
Right.
and I think what really helped them out was especially during the pandemic, where they kind of changed, you know, how concert going was a thing. You know, I think they had like the most streamed attended concert during the pandemic. They had almost 80 million people.
Yes.
80
Jeez.
million concurrent. Oh my goodness. And they're global.
Yep.
And that's what's crazy about it. You know what I'm saying? And it even permeated its way down here where it's like, I'm going to
The BTS squad, what do they call them?
the
BTS gang?
Bang Tang something.
I don't know.
All right, so yeah,
No, you got a local Florida BDS whatever it's called.
BTS,
BTS
yeah, you know,
adapter.
like you're at the gas station, you see people with their like squatted trucks and shit, and you hear BTS, da 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 da, hey, da 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 da. It's wild.
Yeah.
I'm like,
It's
this
funny,
wild.
man. It's funny because it's like
Yeah, it is.
they're just the Backstreet Boys are in sync, you know, but it's just like
Word.
from another country, like,
Exactly.
and it's music and art always. I think they're cyclical. They always repeat themselves, and it's like that's why
Yeah, for sure.
BTS was so popular. It's because look, the Backstreet Boys are back, but this time
Yeah. Backstreet Boys, One Direction, NSYNC.
Yeah.
Right. I feel it. You know what I'm saying? All them R&B
Right.
boys and stuff. But the thing that they did well was they really took a lot of, you know, genres and
Mixed them.
mixed them. Like they really experimented. Yeah, some of them were hit or miss, but you know, you can't say that around the fandom. So just, you know, be
Yeah,
careful.
because they love
Right.
that song.
They will.
will they hunt you down?
Oh, yeah. They'll look for your address on the internet.
Oh,
They
shit.
have professional hackers and doxers and all this shit. Oh my goodness, I've seen it
On the
firsthand,
fucking
man.
payroll too, I bet. On the
It's
payroll.
terrifying,
Oh, yeah,
bro.
for sure.
Some of them will do it for free, bro. What?
Yep.
They'll do it for free. But yeah, like you can see why their popularity is global because they
Yeah.
have they tap into so many markets with the music that they produce. You
Right.
know, with like Latin, they've collabed with Latin artists. They've collabed with West
Hip-hop.
Coast artists,
Hip-hop.
New York artists. You know what I'm saying? They're really plugged into you
Right.
know, like
And they'll even
The
revamp,
culture,
revamp an old song.
yeah, they'll
and make-
revamp. You ever heard of chicken noodle soup? Chicken noodle soup. Chicken noodle soup.
I
Chicken
can't say
noodle
I'm
soup.
familiar with that one. If it
Well-
if it makes me sound like I'm behind the times, then I guess I am because I've
No,
heard.
no,
you're
you're good,
solid.
man. You're
You
good,
solid,
you're good.
bro. You solid. This came out what?
2005?
2005.
Oh well, then I'm really behind the times. Holy shit! Fuck.
You what?
2005. And I think the original song that made it, the original video that made it go viral, because this was the same year YouTube launched.
Yeah.
And it was a guy in his bedroom with a Dora costume on, doing the Dougie. It was crazy. It was
And
crazy.
then they started with all the other costumes.
And then that's when, you know, all those, you know, the Soldier Boy
Vine.
crank.
Right? Yeah, I
Soulja
remember that.
Boy,
That shit was
all of
huge,
that, you know, like
everywhere.
the era of dance moves.
Yup,
and
in my
stuff.
white tee. Yup.
dude.
White
Every
tee song.
bar mitzvah party, every bar mitzvah party in the world played Soldier Boy.
Uh-huh.
Amen. Oh
I'm
yeah,
telling you.
absolutely. Yo.
Popular one. Oh my God! Like every
Oh,
but
man.
You what?
But it's
every
different though. Like just to see how far like music has gotten, especially in terms of making it to South Korea, you know,
Yeah.
right.
and they've become a industry. Well, for a time, I don't know if they still are because BTS is now
They're in the army right now.
yeah,
so.
they're all serving their terms.
Yeah.
But like for a period of time, I'd probably say 8 years at most. Like they were number one sales, number one charts. I mean, like because their fans were
Billboards every single
Billboards.
time. They win the award every
they
single
won
time.
awards. The one thing they didn't win was a Grammy, and
the fan base got mad.
and the fan base got mad and boycotted the Grammys the next year, and then ratings plummeted. That's crazy.
Oh my God.
That's
Crazy, man. But that just goes to show you how important fucking community building is. It's just like it and being real with your fans and like showing real love, you know, and not being
Right.
fake. Like don't just
Right.
comment on somebody's shit or like somebody's shit just because you want to get their attention. Like people see through that. People aren't stupid, you know.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
People are not
It's the
stupid.
actions.
People are like
the
people are
actions.
stupid, but they're also not stupid.
Sensational.
Like people
Moderately, you know,
ways,
Yeah,
and a lot of ways
in the
they're
middle.
not.
in the
you
middle,
know?
in the middle.
Right. Like people know when
Oh,
you're
man.
full of shit. People know when you're full of shit. When you just like
for
something
sure.
just to like it. They know it, you know. And
That's why
real
sometimes they'll test
authenticity
you.
always shines through.
Right.
How do you say that, or why do you think that? How do they test you?
What?
Well, like a perfect example. I told my brother. When I was because I work in retail, so when they had me going to different stores just helping out, I would tell people Journey's my favorite band, and then the first thing they would ask me is, "What's your favorite song?" And then when I told them my favorite song is, I'm like, I even have the vinyl. I bought a vinyl machine just so I can listen to Journey on vinyl. so it's like they're looking at me. They're like, your skin color doesn't match what you listen to, so they're like, all right, I gotta test you. What's your favorite song? And then so when I tell them what my favorite song is, and then I'll say, oh, this is the second one. This is the second one. And then they're like, holy cow,
Right,
you
like-
listen to Journey. Like Separate Ways is my favorite song, and then I would say
Really?
my love would be, oh yeah, I love Separate Ways.
That
I love
that is a good song. That is a damn good
I
song.
spam
It's better
it.
than
I
Don't
would
Stop
spam.
Believing. Holy shit.
Yeah, I would spam the hell out of that song.
Just
I would spam the
do
hell
not
out.
spam Don't Stop Believing, because if you do that, man, it's like we're not friends anymore. We're not friends anymore. It's a great song, but it's like you know, I don't know. Do y'all know
Oh, dude,
Freebird? You know,
it's
Freebird living
in there.
It's like everywhere.
They buried it and then dug it out. Dog,
Exactly.
I'm-
No,
let me stop.
they killed it. They killed it. They buried it, resurrected
Yeah.
it, and then
And
killed
then
it again.
resurrected it. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man, that's.
But
that's
I
crazy.
bought Journey's greatest hits on vinyl, and then I love it, man. I love it. I don't care what anybody says.
They're damn good musicians, man. It's like it's not
For sure.
my go-to. They're not my go-to band, and that's not my go-to genre. Just like that is to me, that's the epitome of like, this is when you say classic rock radio. It's like that's what you're listening to, you know? Like,
Okay, I got you.
Ernie.
Like I said, when I was a kid, I grew up listening
and
to
that's
it.
yeah, and it's
Yeah, all
damn
of a
good
sudden-
music, and they're great
Oh, yeah, for
musicians. It's some of the best musicians, really. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, because back then, like when you did before we had everything that we have now, like, I mean, I use Logic Pro to make my music, but you know, with Pro Tools and Ableton and everything else that's out there now, like you didn't have unlimited time to do a take of whatever it was you were recording. It's like if you're a drummer or you're a guitar player or a bassist or a singer, like you've got a limited amount of time, like unless you're the fucking Beatles, you know, which you're not. So like you've got a limited amount of time because they're literally like rolling tape, and that tape costs
Right,
money.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was like, it's
Right.
literally on tape.
Literally,
There's no
yeah.
Rewind, delete.
No.
None of that.
Right. We're literally cutting and pasting your shit because you keep fucking up, man.
For sure.
You know, like
You got
get
two
your
tweets in
fucking
there.
take right, you know. And it's like it's just the level of pressure that my generation and the younger generation
We may
will
never
ever know. Will ever know. And I think that's unfortunate because I wish I had that pressure in a lot of ways because I think it would have made me a better musician, you know.
I got you.
I feel you.
Because if you
Removing those pressures, didn't.
right, because I think if you know like shit, I've got an hour of studio time and it's costing me like fucking $500. Like I have to get this take right. You know, you're gonna get that fucking take right. Like you're gonna practice as long as it takes to get that right. But like now, it's just too easy to be like, yeah, you know, whatever, fuck it, I'll make this beat later.
I'll just give you another band for another hour here.
Right.
Do it again.
Exactly.
But I feel it.
But it's great at the same time, man, because I can literally just roll out of bed like at any point and just make a song,
Yep.
That's fire.
Yep. That's true.
That's awesome.
And if you
man.
fuck up, delete, backtrack, and then redo it again.
I think being a
Right.
musician and producer, like, I feel like that's such a nice hack. Like, you don't have to wait for new music.
No.
You just make.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Yep. No, that's cool.
Amazing.
That's
a hack,
yes
bro.
and no. You do, because like if you're a true musician, and I feel like if you're a true artist, you like secretly kind of like hate your shit, like secretly don't like your
I
shit.
hear that all the
I hear
that all the
Okay,
time.
tell me something.
And
Tell me
not
something.
even
Your
sometimes
worst-
not even secretly. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
How deep is your unreleased archive, bro?
way too deep, man.
Oh my goodness, bro.
Way
you guys-
too
I just
deep.
have a graveyard of just like, man.
But when you guys release it, they're like, "Oh my god, this is the best one ever." But then you're like, "I hate this."
I hate this. Does that ever happen?
Right.
Something you release, you hate it, and
But
it's like, it's too late to
It
go
gets
back.
the most likes.
But like, it gets the most
Right.
traction and and it's just like, I don't understand.
What do you see that I don't
It's
see?
not what I want. Why do you want this?
Right.
Why
It's
do
the
you
same
like
thing with when I post like art on Instagram. I'm like, why the fuck do you like this, dude? This is bad. This is terrible.
Right. I'm like,
Like-
dog. I feel it.
And it's I don't have a lot of music up like published right now, but like that's changing very soon. That's changing very soon.
That's awesome.
And
we're looking forward to that for sure.
I've got one song up there right now. I did have an entire album up a couple years ago, but ended up taking it down. And maybe one day people will be able to hear that. But
Re-release, mix and master,
Yeah.
remaster. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
but I do have
Special edition.
a special edition. Yeah, it's gonna be fucking tabletop topics remix special edition.
Hey,
Vinyl press
Sensational.
edition.
I'll do the ad libs.
Sensational.
I'll do the ad libs.
You
Fuck
stupid,
you, bro.
Jeff. You stupid.
But I do have a song coming out in December. Sometime in
Alright,
December.
awesome.
Sometime in
Definitely.
December. I wish I had a solid date to give you guys, but I don't.
Before Christmas, it could be a gift to the world. You know what I'm saying?
I hope so, man. I mean, it is a gift to the world. I hope people like it. I hope they do.
Definitely repost that for you.
Always, bro.
Put your socials
Always,
out there
for
just
sure.
so people can.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
You know,
anybody
yeah.
watching now, like, if you want to follow me, you can follow me on Instagram at Jade.Juda. Jade.Juda.
we'll post the links in the descriptions as well. We'll give you his entire discography, everything
yep.
he got going on. You guys can keep up with my brother.
And right now, unfortunately, my discography is not much, but like I said, that's changing very soon. And I hope you
Yeah,
guys,
for sure.
Sure.
like when it comes out.
Oh yeah, definitely. We'll take a listen and see where it goes. Yeah.
Oh, where are we in now? Is it that? Are we?
Oh, no, I think no, we're good.
Oh, we're solid.
What do you
Alright,
got?
Cool.
What do you? How much time do we have here? First of all,
Depending on how much questions we got.
I mean,
Okay.
oh yeah. Throw some curveballs at my brother.
I don't know. I don't know if we should get into it or not. If this might like affect this.
Oh no! Please, by all means.
Like,
by all means.
what do you think
yeah.
about the?
Yeah, we're good for tomorrow.
but-
Yeah.
Yeah, the floor is yours, brother.
What do you think about the conflict going on in the Middle East right now?
Ooh, okay.
Hot take.
This is gonna be.
Yeah, because for us, we don't. I mean, not we don't. We don't even bring it up because we know that it's
supercharged.
It's so
Supercharged
charged.
right
That's
now.
why I was hesitant to bring it up.
yeah.
One thing I will say is, at the end of the day, a lot of the civilians, a lot of the casualties that are civilians are the ones who are essentially suffering the most, and that's on both sides. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just like those, like children, the elderly. That's just like something you never want. Like it's especially when I always preach the idea that I have no enemies. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
If I'm
Sure.
faced with a conflict,
the episode that we did.
instead of choosing to take a life, I would rather run away.
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, we both get to keep our lives, and you still have the opportunity to grow and be something else. You see what I'm saying? Or maybe you'll meet your maker, but that's not going to be me.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
Right. It's just such a fucking tricky situation, man.
Right.
It is
because I agree with you entirely. Any loss of life is tragic.
It's tragic.
Palestinian, Israeli, it doesn't matter
It's
who
tragic.
you are,
But
where you're from. It's fucking horrible.
I think the biggest issue in the not just the United States but around the world is people are actively wanting you to choose sides, and if you say, well, I don't want to choose a side, they automatically see you as the enemy, and it's like that's not like, what I'm trying to say.
I'm for humanity.
Yes.
Like I want people to be.
We are
to
all
live.
Yeah,
you have to be for humanity, and I am as well for humanity.
Yeah.
But you have to kind of look at like what's going on behind the scenes. I mean, I feel for the Palestinian people. I do. And I don't think there should be a war. But I never hear anybody talking about Hamas. I never hear anybody talking about, terrorists that, are hiding in that they put in these schools and these hospitals, and they don't let their own people leave.
You feel like it's one side?
And then I feel like there's a lot of propaganda going on right now against Israel and against Jews, and
I absolutely. What isn't the country in like code yellow right now?
Yeah, the United States is code yellow. Officer came by the retail store I work at and basically said that just be careful because the entire United States is at code yellow right now, meaning that all officers are alert because there might be some hate crimes happening on both sides. So just be careful because especially in the stores and of course during schools and of course anywhere that you go to, you just have he was letting us know we just have to be careful as a community because the entire United States is on code yellow right now. So
I didn't know that, but I mean it makes sense, man. There's a lot of vitriol, a lot of hatred going on right now, a lot of misunderstanding, a lot of propaganda, and it's like if people who quote are pro-Palestinian would see that they're not helping anything by ignoring Hamas and pretending like they don't exist, pretending like, hey, there can't be a ceasefire when, Israel stops firing, but Hamas keeps shooting rockets, that's not a ceasefire. It's like, what is Israel supposed to do? Are they supposed to let their children die? Are they supposed to let?
Right, and that's
people,
No, I completely understand. You know what I'm saying? That's like and that's but it's like.
But Palestinians need to see like Hamas has to go. Hamas has to go, and until Hamas goes, there will be no mutual understanding between the two sides.
But how does the responsibility of taking out a terrorist organization? How does the community in which I don't know if Hamas is terrorizing the Palestinians or using them as hostage to propagate their ideas. It's like how do you defeat an ideology when it's already rooted within the society without destroying the society? Because re-education is out of the option. You know what I'm saying? That's out of the cart. So
well, I mean, I think the thing. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So, like, at the end of the day, there has to be a conscious decision made where you decide, okay, and I'm not trying to compare Palestinians to a batch of apples. I'm just trying to use an example where it's like if all the apples are bad, you know what I'm saying, or a few apples are bad, like, you have to throw away the bunch. And I feel like that's an example of justification used to essentially continue the assault.
And I think that's bad. I think that's a bad example for justification because it's not true. Like, as far as I know, like most Palestinians did not vote for Hamas, and
that's what I'm saying. Right.
Because of some, fuck up in their election system, which is obviously corrupt. Like Hamas ended up winning. So as far as I know, most Palestinians don't even like Hamas.
They don't like Hamas.
So it's like plea of the Palestinian people is going unheard because people are spinning it in the wrong way. It's like the Jews are not the enemies of the Palestinians. Hamas is the enemy of the Palestinians.
But they're but it looks like they're framing that in the sense of It's the people, not just Hamas, and I think that's the issue.
Right, and you see what I'm saying? Because it's like the right Hamas is being used to blanket the Palestinian people as a monolith.
Yeah.
But Hamas does that themselves, and I'm sure there are those
right. Like
who use that on the Israeli side. They use that rhetoric, but it's from what I have seen, it's just not that way. When people talk about, if you want to say the pro-Israeli side, I hate saying pro-Israeli, pro-Palestinian, whatever. We should be pro everybody.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
It's
always
one good example I could look at.
The Palestinian people, it is Hamas. We need to wipe out Hamas. Hamas has to go, And
how do you do that without
you do that by sorry,
you see what I'm saying? Like I feel like, how do you incur that without civilian casualties? Because I look at this and I can draw parallels with Vietnam. You see what I'm saying? It's like it's not a one-to-one comparison. You have a superpower. I'm not saying Israel's a superpower, but like
it is a superpower.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like it's a superpower. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have top of the line weapons, funding, da. You know what I'm saying? It's like I said, Vietnam, and of course you have the Viet Cong, who were hiding behind the civilian population to wage war on democracy. XYZ, whatever the government that was in power at the time, and of course we're there to back them up. But it's like the people who suffered the most was not our military; it was the civilians, because the Viet Cong were in with the civilians. So it's like
I think that is an interesting example, but I think it's different in a very important way. It's that America traveled very far to go invade Vietnam, and engage in that war.
Their back door.
This is literally at their door. And you have to remember, Israel I think it takes maybe like an hour to drive all the way across the entire country. Like it's small, man. Like I don't know if you've ever looked at Israel on a map, but it's tiny.
No, it's tiny.
And it's surrounded by, a lot of nations, that are enemies.
Who are Israel.
Right. They're anti-Israeli and anti-Jewish. And it makes me wonder, where are the Arab states in this? Why are they not helping the Palestinians? Why are they not, taking refugees, nobody wants to call out the real problem. Everybody wants to blame Israel.
I got you.
And that's not going to get anybody anywhere. It's not going to change anything.
Absolutely
it's not.
Solve
the problem. It's like Israel problem. Palestinians are not the problem. Hamas is the problem. Terrorism is the problem.
Terrorism is the problem.
Extremism is the problem.
Yes, sir.
I mean,
yes, sir.
I love everybody. I've known people who are Palestinian. I don't have any Palestinian friends right now, but I have in the past. And I mean, they're people just like anybody else, and it's true with everybody. I mean, so I think it's really important that we find what the actual root of the problem is and call it out. That's the only way.
Do you believe there's a historical factor to this in terms of territorial disputes? And that
of course,
just bleeds into the psyche. Those who fall through the cracks in society and who develop extremist ideas, they latch on to that, and they usually subscribe to the idea that a lot of their land was stolen from them.
Right, like a very nationalistic kind of.
Yeah.
Is that the same like Russia and Ukraine?
Ukraine? Well, no. Russia is attempting to restore the Soviet states.
Gotcha.
And remember, the Soviet Union was big as shit.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? But
right.
Going back to Israel and Palestine, it's like, because it's like, it's like the war, because it's so. I feel like it's a complicated task to fight a war on an ideology. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's never going to be a winner, just a lot of victims. And that's the thing that sucks about fighting a war against an ideology. Yes, you could paint a group of people as, okay, this is where Hamas is, but these ideas can propagate elsewhere. You see what I'm saying?
That's true. That's true. They
can be like, oh yeah, I'm a member of Hamas now. I'm not FBI agent. If you hear me, don't mess with me. You know what I'm saying? No fly list type shit.
Yeah.
You know, but like that, and I feel like no one's thinking like outside that the concept of you cannot fight an idea.
No.
You see what I'm saying?
No, you can't. You can't. I mean, you can't fight an idea, but all wars are fought based on ideology. I mean,
based on ideology.
It doesn't matter what the war is, when it happened, what it was about, whatever. It's like it all started because like I don't like the way you're doing this, or you're on my land, or like whatever. Like I don't like the way you talk, you know, whatever it is, like something stupid, you know. But like in this case, it's more than just an idea. It's an idea that has been taken and turned into a weapon. You know, it's been turned into a weapon, and it's been organized in a way to where you can say, I am a part of this group. You know, it's become more than an idea now. It's become a movement, you know, and that is what is scary about it, because it's a movement based on falsehoods, and that ultimately hurts the Palestinian people in the long run, because like if the world doesn't see that Hamas is the real problem and these terrorist organizations and the countries funding them are the real problem, then they're never going to go away. And Palestine, you know, well, the Palestinians will always deal with what they're dealing with now. And
they're being terrorized by it's like with prime example with Haiti. You see what I'm saying? Like the gangs are bought out by private donors, bring them guns, and they terrorize their own citizens.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? They murder them, they kill them,
right?
And then they wreak havoc against other people. But you know,
that's what Hamas does. Yeah, and that's what Hamas does. Israel will, you know, order an evacuation of an area that they think, you know, Hamas militants are hiding out in, and Hamas will not let them leave. You know, Hamas will say, if you leave, we'll kill you and your family. You know, we'll kill your children in front of you. I mean, and they do. You know, these are horrible. These are monsters. These are horrible people. And, you know, until the world like can stand up and acknowledge that fact and call it out, you know, they will retain control of the Palestinian people, even though from my perspective, from what I've seen, they don't want to be controlled by Hamas. So it's unfortunate.
Right. They want to be free from them. Yeah.
Right. Because you still have Palestinian citizens in Israel, right? There are like Palestinian citizens. Right.
Right.
So
there are, as far as I know. Yeah, I think, you correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I think you're right. Yeah.
I believe so. You know, so it's just like,
I mean, I know that Palestinians will travel and work there, you know, go in and out across the border and things like that. I'm sure not anymore, right? But, you know, at one time. And it can be that way, you know. I do see a future where it's possible for Israelis and Palestinians to coexist, you know, peacefully, you know. But
that's a distant future.
It's a very distant.
I'll be honest, that's a distant future, because
it is.
You gotta understand, this is generational trauma. This is before my time, and
because that's what they're being taught.
Like this shit is historical, my man.
It is, man. It goes way back. It goes way back.
Way back. So
I mean, and when you're talking about from the Jewish perspective, the Israeli perspective, I mean, it goes back, you know, back, right, biblical, and you know, if you want to get more recent, you know, it goes back to the Holocaust, you know, of like, you know, the Jews finally having a homeland, you know, reclaiming that homeland, you know, that they had been forced out of for thousands of years. But you know, I'm no historian, I'm no expert on anything like that. But
I feel you.
You know, it's crazy shit, man, and I hope it all fucking calms down. I hope it stops.
I really do, man.
And that's where the divide comes, because now here in the United States, you got pro-Palestine and pro-Israel. So it's like, it's very difficult for people to listen to one side or the other, because especially if they're that specific race, they're just going to be focused on, my people are getting slaughtered, you guys are the bad guys, we're not going to listen. So it's like,
exactly.
Yeah, but just look what's happened in the past couple of days.
Yeah, the message is being misconstrued.
Yes, like now it starts off as, okay, we're pro-Palestine, but it's like, what happens when you start adopting these ideologies? Now you have a bigger problem.
Right.
a
It's
bigger problem.
people don't realize they say I'm pro-Palestine. It's like, okay, great. I'm pro-Palestine, like Palestinian. I don't want Palestinians to die, like,
No.
but I'm not pro-Hamas. It's like people don't understand that
Understand the distinction.
there's this huge distinction. Exactly, there's huge distinction there. It's like, okay, fine, support, you know, peace for Palestinians. I support that. Everyone should support that. But like, if you leave out Hamas, it's like you're hurting them more than you're helping them. You know, you're latching on to an idea that has like a
It's been warped.
right. It has a very sinister underbelly of like propaganda, you know, beneath it.
Right.
You know, and a lot of these people that, you know, are saying they're pro-Palestine and stuff like that now, they're just being used, man. They're just being used by these terrorist organizations. You know, they're spreading this propaganda, you know, and they don't even know it.
Scary shit, man.
And the crazy thing is, you always have the conspiracy theorists coming in and saying, "What is the bigger picture? Why are
who's the silent actors who's controlling
the bigger puzzle, the puzzle piece that's being moved around all this?
Oh man,
distractions.
Yeah, it's the big guys. You know, it's like it's Iran, it's Russia, it's China. You know, I mean everybody. I mean, especially the powers in the Middle East. It's like they want Israel gone, you know, and they have for a long time. I mean, and
because I feel like isn't it like the only democracy in the area for like
I believe so.
Thousands of miles, like until you hit Europe or Eastern.
I believe it's the only like true democracy in the region. Crazy. I think you're right about that. I mean, it is from what I hear, a great place, man. Like technologically advanced, like fucking beyond belief, like beautiful place. I would like it. I hope I can go someday. I hope the shit settles down and we can all go, and we can. I hope that we can hang out with Israelis and Palestinians, and we can all hang out together. We can fucking chill, man. Whatever.
Yeah, kumbaya.
I feel like, can you smoke out there?
I think right now probably not. I don't know. It depends on how close to the border you are.
Yeah, I bet.
Oh man,
I bet.
That's fire.
That's nuts.
What's up, Jimmy? How you doing, brother? Thank you.
He said congrats on their first live. But thanks, Jimmy.
What's up, Jamie?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What you got, Joe?
I was gonna say, Jade, for the people that are watching you, the people who know you or don't know you, what would you like, how would I say this? How would you like to describe yourself to them? Like,
what keeps you going? What makes you tick?
Yeah,
thank you, sir. What do you look forward to?
I appreciate
Where do you see yourself?
I'm having a brain fart. I'm trying to. My brain is like.
What is your mode in life? Where do you want to see yourself? Whether it's short term, long term, and what lessons have you learned in life, and how do they help you move forward with what you want to do?
Well, I think the best way to answer that, I mean, first of all, I'm a musician first. I'm a songwriter first.
Sensational.
That's what I've done my whole life. That's what I have always aspired to do, and what I've always aspired to be, and I have become that, you know. Awesome. And it goes back to that question you asked earlier about, you know, when do you become an artist? It's like, well, you become an artist when you decide to become an artist, and you take that shit seriously, and you live it out, and you act it out, you know. And that's what I'm doing now, and that's how I want people to see me. I want people to see me as, you know, just see me for the work that I produce, you know. That I'm not just doing this as a hobby. I'm not a hobbyist, you know. I'm an artist, and I'm a musician, and authenticity is so important to me, you know. And that, I think that's an important lesson we can like apply to every aspect of life today, especially with social media now, man. Like I said earlier, people can see through the bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, like you've got to be real. You have to be real.
Yeah.
That is facts.
But as far as where I see myself going, man,
sensational.
Soon I hope to be playing some live shows. I've got some new music coming out.
There you go. That's what's up.
Hey man,
Hey,
you guys hopefully will be there. I'm gonna try to get a show booked in Florida.
That's fine.
hey, that's fine. Let us know when, and then we'll purchase the
Yes,
tickets.
sir.
And
Oh
then
yeah.
we can literally probably get an interview with you if you're not too busy too.
Man,
So.
y'all get
Yeah,
y'all
just
get
stop
backstage
by.
passes. Y'all get backstage passes.
Oh shit, that's nuts.
Oh,
Because like I said,
man.
like we said, we see ourselves traveling the United States just so we can get the stories of everyday people. So you're definitely one of them, and we definitely want to come to you.
Well, yeah, we want to stay in touch, keep up
Yep.
with you, man.
For
Just
sure, man.
follow your whole journey, bro.
Mhm.
Same with you guys, man. I'm really
I'm
impressed with what
excited,
y'all are
man.
doing and how
Thank
y'all
you
are
so
just
much, bro.
sticking with it, man.
Appreciate you.
Like,
Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
yeah,
That
man.
time, Jeff.
Yeah.
I think it's
that
that
time?
time, guys. It's been great
It's that
talking with you
time.
guys. Thank you
Yeah,
so
Always,
much.
brother. It's a
Amazing.
pleasure,
Me
man.
on.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
for giving
much.
us your time, dude.
Yeah.
Yes,
Seriously,
absolutely.
seriously, man.
Thank you for having me on. Please, everybody that's watching, make sure to check me out on Spotify, Jade Juda. Follow me on
We're
Instagram,
posting links. We'll be
Jade.Juda.
posting
Oh,
links
yeah.
in the
Yes,
description.
check the links in the description. Follow me. I'll follow you back.
Yes,
Awesome.
sir, Ski.
All
You
right.
boys got new art, new music coming
Yeah,
soon.
definitely.
It's
Be
coming.
on the lookout. Keep your eyes peeled.
I'm waiting for that Florida tour.
We put
So,
work. Yes,
It's
sir.
coming, man. We're gonna do the Florida
All right,
World
all right.
Tour. Florida World Tour.
All right.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys.
brother.
Y'all have a good
Take us
night.
home.
All right. Guys, thank you again for joining us at the tabletop. If you want to catch and watch our ugly mugs on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Pandora, Deezer, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and now YouTube Music. We also have our YouTube channel, one word, Tabletop Topics, our Triple T's Clips channel, and our TikTok. So if you click on the links, it'll take you directly to the episodes. And of course, we have timestamps so you can navigate throughout. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and of course, leave us a comment.
Yes, sir.
Again, guys, thank you again for joining us at the tabletop. You have a good night, weekend, evening, and day, and we'll see you on Tuesday. Again, don't forget to follow our boy, Jade Juda.
Jade Juda, thank you.
Thank you,
sir.
guys. It's been a hell of a time. Y'all have
Sensation.
fun. Have a good night. I love you guys.
All right,
Thank
brother. You
you.
take it
You
easy.
too.
Y'all have a good night, everybody.
Appreciate you.